Our next stop is the Oklahoma Firefighters Museum. Our first stop is the Oklahoma Firefighters Museum. Now we are at the Oklahoma Firefighters Museum. Bernie the Buffalo. Do we just go? Oh, wait. No.
Okay.
Oklahoma is okay.
What's that one?
Oklahoma's okay. Do they used to have those license plates?
Probably.
As near 1900, it works.
Whoa!
Surprise!
What?
Now, what would in that era if there was a fire, and then just pull that down, and that would set the alarm off. Now, in the alarm, there's a code wheel, and it's right there. I have a little bit what it looks like. So as it spins, it triggers a switch, and then it triggers it, and then it does again. And the spacing on these tells you what number it is. And this one, and it'll do it several times, so I'll do it manually. It's box 21. So if you pull the alarm, this is what they'd hear at the fire station.
Oh, okay.
That's 2, and then there would be a pause, and then 1. And this will cycle.
Oh, for 21?
Yeah,
I see.
and this will cycle through.
That's interesting.
And the tapes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, come here.
It's about to run me over.
Come here. Which way is it pointing now?
This?
No,
wait,
that
that one? Oh, yeah.
It's still pointing at you.
Uh-huh.
No matter where you stand.
This is some sort of illusion. The truck, wherever I stand, is pointing towards me, wanting to run me over. Whoa. This is what an old fire station would look like. So there would be this box, and when there was a fire, when there was a fire, then you would ring the thing according to the number. When there was a fire, you would ring the thing according to the number that the box and the location was. So since this is 21, you would do 2 presses and then another press, right? You would pull it.
This would be locked.
And you would just
You
pull
couldn't
it.
get in there and hit the button.
Oh.
Okay, that would be locked. All you could do is pull this down.
Oh, just once.
You pull this down, and it has a weight that operates it. So what you'd have to do when you crank it, you crank the weight up, and that kept it to where it'd work all the time. The only thing.
I'll just read it. I don't know where I left off.
Oh, then you can start over.
Whoa.
Okay,
What?
That's that bell. That's what would be in the alarm room. Okay. That's what they would hear in the fire station. That would tell the firefighters, and it would ring 2 times and then 1 time, just like the rest of them. If they had a lot of money, they would have. Every time it would ring, it would click.
And take 2.
This is a replica of what? This is a replica of an old firehouse and what it would look like. So if there was a fire, then someone at any location would go to this box and it has a number, and they would pull the little
Key?
what?
They insert a key.
Oh, yeah.
Open it.
They'd insert a key. They'd insert a key and then pull the thing that was inside. And at the fire station, the firefighters would hear rings according to the number that was on here. So there would be 2 rings and then 1 for 21.
In large cities, more in larger
Yeah.
areas, there was a fire, every resident had to have a bucket. And in the event of a fire, they grabbed their buckets and they threw them out so they had buckets to fight the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked and it didn't, you know. Then they went to regular buckets. Well, one of the things in that era that people don't realize, a bucket was a very valuable and useful tool at home. They designed this bucket.
I see.
If
So
it
people
won't
wouldn't
stand
steal
up,
it.
it's not a bucket anymore. So if they were carrying water or whatever, they couldn't put it down because it'd pour out. And they were very easy to stack. And in that way, they could stack them in parts of town, and then they had plenty of them there, and nobody took them. This particular hand pumper's from 1870.
And the water would be in there?
The water would go in here. Now, depending on where you were at and what the circumstances were, they could fill this with buckets. Or they could take this, flip it over and drop it in water, and it would actually suck the water up
Oh, okay.
and pump it.
That's fast.
So that's how they did that. Well, these would fold out. They folded in because of narrow roads. That way they could get them in. Well, they would take these out. Now you
You could push it?
could have 6 to 12 men pump it. And generally,
okay.
if they had the manpower, there'd be a guy on your side and a guy on my side, and we would pump it because it's very hard. And I have a video over there that, as technology has come, what would have taken
Okay. Is it still, wait, don't cover it. Sorry, make sure it's, okay. This is a horse-drawn steam pump. So when they would fight a fire, they would hook the hose to a water source. And back then, cities were near water sources, so that was easy. And then it could pump 750 gallons a minute with not much steam power. Got it? Go. The Dalmatian dogs actually, they weren't used to sniff out humans and fires. They were just used to keep the horses company. I didn't know that. And the horses were in stables all day, so they'd get bored and the dogs just helped them with that.
this was a fire chief's buggy. So the fire chief, when the alarm went off, they'd hitch him up, and he could get to the fire first, and then he could direct them what they needed to do when they got there.
All right, here I go.
This was the fire chief's buggy, and it was white to symbolize that it was the fire chief. So not everything in the fire service was red.
One, two, three, cheese.
What's this?
The fuck. All right, here I go.
And that is the Oklahoma State Firefighters Museum. The mic is here. Did you like the
Yeah.
when he made that?
My favorite part was when our guide made the ringing sound. It was very loud but very enjoyable for some reason.
Good job.
Okay. I liked learning about how firefighting worked back in the day, and I think this is the first firefighting museum that we've been to. So I pretty much didn't know anything. It's cool to learn about. Also, that steam engine and a lot of the firefighting equipment looks pretty cool. A
I was,
firefighter.
yes. I'm retired now. As safe as it could be. It's still a very, very dangerous occupation, but